So hello, everyone. I am Kelly Springer, and I am the New York State Apple spokesperson, which is really, really fun. So as I was just saying, that we have amazing Sophie with us today, who created this presentation. She's our intern from Syracuse University. So I'm really excited to share with you all the information that you'll need to know about why apples are so good and why they say have an apple a day. So let's go through the presentation. So some fun facts about apples is more than 7,500 apple varieties have been identified worldwide. That's a lot of varieties. That's a lot of different apples. So more than 2,500 varieties are grown in the US. So one large apple is naturally fat-free, sodium-free, cholesterol-free, and is an amazing snack because it has only 130 calories. And there's our apple. They're delicious. So apples contain B vitamins to keep your skin healthy. And they also have amazing nutrients to help keep our bones healthy as well. So what makes New York State apples so special, like I have here in front of me? Well, New York State is the largest grower of New York State apples on the East Coast and the second largest in the country. So you can find them at your local farmer markets. And also, and this is something I learned as being the spokesperson for New York State apples, that our New York State apples are shipped all over the East Coast. So there was a day I was doing TV for New York State apples down in Baltimore, and I'm like, oh, that's really funny. Well, our apples get shipped all over. I think that's really cool to know that. So New York State apples are known for their great taste, and they're so good because of where they're grown, because of our climate, because of where we are. So it's pretty neat. And they're naturally packed to maintain freshness because they have that amazing skin. So they're going to give you that crisp, juicy flavor whenever you bite into a New York State apple. Okay, so if you don't know me, you've never heard me talk about fiber. But anyone on this call who does know me and has spoke with me, and I know Captain Flynn knows, my favorite word is the word fiber. Right? Yes. So yes. Fiber is so important for maintaining blood sugar levels, and apples have an excellent source of fiber. Just one large apple contains 5 grams of fiber, including the soluble fiber pectin. So apples contain both soluble and insoluble fiber and contribute about 20% of your daily estimated fiber needs. So just this little awesome packed little fruit here has 20% of your fiber needs, which is incredible. All right, on to the next here. So fiber in apples, oh, sorry, just skipped one. I knew that was going to happen. So fiber in apples slows the release of carbohydrates in the bloodstream, providing the energy you need without blood sugar spikes. So this is what exactly we did when we worked with the gel, is we really tried to make sure we increase the fiber sources to keep that blood sugar stable. When we stabilize blood sugar levels, this actually can help maintain weight, also help with weight loss. Plus, it helps your mood. People are happier when they have controlled blood sugar levels. Pretty cool, okay? So getting into the next thing, we actually get into digestion. So how would fiber and digestion be correlated? Well, the digestive tract is about 30 feet in length. So you can think about how tall you are, and then think about 30 feet of digestive tract is kind of crammed in there. In this digestive tract, we have over 100 trillion microbiomes, basically. So little bacteria that live there. 100 trillion, like that's a crazy amount. So these gut bacteria actually need fiber for their food. How crazy is that? Plus, when we feed the gut bacteria the food they need, the fiber-rich food, they actually help to make vitamins for us. So these gut bacteria actually break down the fiber that we can't break down, and they actually create things like B12, B6, folate, biotin. So it's amazing that we actually work in this symbiotic relationship with the gut bacteria. So we are 10 times more gut bacteria than we are human cells. Does that blow your mind a little bit? Okay, so that's where we need to make sure that we are feeding these gut bacteria what they need to survive so that they can do the job that they do. All right, so also into digestion, the pectin that's in apples serves as a prebiotic. Now, prebiotic means the word that feeds the probiotics. So we need to make sure we're getting this fiber-rich food that is going to help support the microbiota. Okay, so the research suggests that apple pectin can promote the body's production of an anti-inflammatory blood protein called cytokines. So these are really good. So we want to make sure that we're getting a great source of that fiber, and also from apples getting that pectin. You guys might need to mute, I think, if it's a little bit loud.
A great way
to just mute your screens if you can.
Once the snowdrops level, we are dipping back down to near zero again tonight. We'll have the full forecast.
You guys mute yourselves, please. That would be great. Thank you. All right, so vitamin C and immunity. So how does this work as well? So apples are a great source of vitamin C, which is necessary for functioning immune systems because vitamin C is an antioxidant. Antioxidants can actually help reduce oxidative stress. So what does that mean? Just breathe in, take a deep breath in. You are actually inhaling oxygen, which can cause oxidative stress. So basically just living can cause this. So we want to make sure we're combating stress levels, maybe some poor diet habits, and just breathing and aging. Apples will provide us with that vitamin C, that antioxidant, which will help prevent against oxidative stress. And this will actually help to decrease your risk of infections and diseases. So as we are still in a pandemic, this is a great way to help to boost up that immune system and help with that healing process. Okay, so another great reason of why. Also, apples are full of phytochemicals, and these can be protective against disease. And so these phytochemicals like quercetin actually helps provide the antioxidant and the health protective capacity in a mega dose of that vitamin C. So this is where we're getting lots of nutrients and vitamins from this apple that can truly help with our immune system. Okay, sorry, it's going too hard. So when getting into heart health, and this is where we always hear that apple a day, right? So apples have a great mixture of nutrients that can keep your heart healthy. It's high in the fiber, like we said, and this also helps to maintain your blood pressure. Potassium that is also in apples is going to help to relax the blood vessels, which can reduce your cardiovascular complications associated with high blood pressure. So by eating apples, it can actually help to reduce that blood pressure. The other thing of how it helps with heart health is the fiber that is in the apple helps to reduce cholesterol and inflammation. So you have basically a triple whammy in a good way that is coming from the way of how apples prevent heart health risks. All right, so getting into diabetes. So right now, the reason why we talk about heart disease and diabetes is that heart disease is actually still today the #1 killer in America for both men and women. And diabetes is in 1 in 3 Americans. So we're talking about a lot of people are affected by this. And just having natural foods like apples can help fight your risk of developing type 2 diabetes and or heart disease. So apples have flavonoids and antioxidants that are helpful for maintaining healthy blood sugar as well. So in 2007, a study from more than 38,000 women found that women who ate 1 or more apples a day had a 28% lower risk of type 2 diabetes compared with those who ate none. That's a high percentage. And Sophie's shaking her head, yes, like that's a really good study, right? So that it's great. So this is where we talk about food as medicine and eating real foods that contain fiber, nutrients, and vitamins actually help fight our risk of chronic disease. So that's why nutrition is so impactful. And that's why I love what I do. All right, so going to the next. getting into post-workout refueling. So I work with a lot of athletes, and this could be even if you had a morning run or if you're a college student, whatever you might be doing in the way of a workout. Well, apples are a great way to actually help replenish the calories and replenish the carbohydrates that you may have used during the workout. Plus, again, they're going to help to maintain blood sugar levels. So they are a perfect way to help with that refueling. So went running this morning. I'm very proud of myself in this complete snow. I know it was kind of crazy, but I have a great neighbor who goes with me. And having an apple in the morning right after that workout helps truly to give me the glucose and the fructose that helps with that refueling. So just make sure that you're getting that refuel after the workout, and it's a healthy way. And plus it's so low in calories, 130, that you're not going to negate your workout, which is great too. So it also, working out can put more oxidative stress. So why would that be? You're breathing in oxygen and you're breaking down muscle and you're breaking down cells when you exercise, which is good, but we need to make sure that we are recovering with foods that have the vitamin C and the quercetin to make sure that we are reducing that oxidative stress level, reducing the inflammation that's caused by the workout. So workouts are good. Don't think that they're bad. They're great, but we just want to make sure that we're reducing that oxidative stress afterwards. Plus, the potassium is an electrolyte that naturally helps to regulate the body fluid in your body. So after you lose that water weight from working out, consuming that electrolyte in the way of potassium can actually help reabsorb the water easily. So speaking of electrolytes, people are very confused about how this whole thing works. So back in the day, I got to go speak at an Equinox gym in New York City, and we had to explain electrolytes. So as we were driving down to New York, my husband, who's a doctor, said, look at the Hudson River. See how the water goes through and the boats go on top. And I was like, yes. He goes, that's kind of like our blood. So our blood kind of goes through with hydration and everything, and it has to get through the lock to get to the other side. So these electrolytes, calcium, potassium, sodium, these actually help get through the lock, the hydration through and on into the cell. So that's what they do. It's an electrified kind of mechanism that's going to get it through. So that's why we need to eat foods that naturally have electrolytes to help our fluid balance. Okay, so you can understand how that works. Isn't that a good? I know he was very helpful. I was like, thank you, honey. That was a great way to explain it. So I love going to the New York State Apple website. It's applesfromny.com. One of my favorite things on the website is that it actually has an entire list of the New York State apples, and it brings you from tart to sweet. It tells you all about how you can use those apples, what's in those apples. Like, it's just amazing. I love that chart. It's one of my favorite things. I happen to be a tart person. I love the Empire, the Macintosh, and the Cortland. I love biting in, and it's like that crisp white, and it's super tart. But my other part of my family, they all love Honeycrisp. Yeah. And everyone now loves the Snapdragon. That's the new cool one. So it's pretty neat if there's new ones coming out all the time. So how New York apples are grown and stored. It was a year ago or 2 years ago, I got to go out to an amazing apple orchard out by Rochester. And it was amazing the lessons that we got to learn about them. So kind of really neat that as apple flavors go out of favor with the consumer, they can actually use the base of the tree and splice in a new tree. Did you know that? So the root system is actually still there, and they could splice in if they want to do like a Snapdragon or an Empire, they can swap them out. I just thought that was like the coolest thing. I never knew that. So they have done a lot of technology that they can actually do really cool things with planting and using these trellises to support the trees, having more sunlight to reach the fruit. And so that's where you get the better color and more flavorful apples. So I thought that was really neat. And also in New York State, we have these rich glacial soil that really gives the distinct flavor of that New York State apple, which is pretty neat too. So the apples that are sold a few months after harvest are then stored in these controlled atmosphere storage. And that's why they're able to bring out the apples all year long. It's because it slows down the apples ripening process, which is pretty cool. So really neat technology that has come about with New York State apples. So in this controlled atmosphere storage method, they actually, like I said, it slows down that ripening process, and it's a really cool modern technology that makes it that we can store these apples. So we harvest them all, in August, September, and October, and we can actually keep them at the temperature about 32 to 36. And that is the best temperature for that fruit. Okay. And so a lot of research has been done to find the ideal temperature. How does it stay the best? And we can ship out these apples so they are fresh and delicious all year long. So thank goodness for technology, because that's actually pretty cool that they can do that. So the next few slides are amazing recipes. So as we were going through this, we're like, maybe I'm just starving right now, but these look so good. And these are all right on the New York State Apple website. So applesfromny.com. There's over 200 Apple recipes. And I'm telling you, apples are so versatile. You can use them in so many different ways. So these New York State apple bagel recipe is absolutely delicious. You can mix in the goat cheese and the almonds and the cranberries. Yum. That sounds, we might have to make that for lunch today. That sounds really, really good. And then this one was Sophie's favorite. This is the turkey apple grilled cheese recipe. So adding that apple to the sandwich, it's going to add that crunch. You're adding in fiber. It's absolutely delicious with all of these different flavors put together. So that's another great one. And then we also have the apple cinnamon bagel bites. We were saying anything with bacon works. Like, that's delicious. So you can have it savory, you can have it sweet, you can have it on its own. So apples really, truly are extremely versatile and can be used for appetizers, for soups, for all kinds of different things. And they add a lot of flavor. If you're ever making smoothies, apples are the perfect flavor profile for that as well. Okay, so in summary, apples are extremely beneficial for digestion, immune system, heart health, and definitely can help to recharge after the workout. They have a delicious sweet tart flavor. There's over 30 different varieties of apples grown in New York State, ranging from tart, apples baked used for baking, and then the super sweet that are great for snacking. So apples in New York are grown with the help of the trellises and often are stored using the controlled atmosphere method. And this delays the ripening for the process for the apples to be enjoyed all year long. So there's so many ways to make these easy and delicious recipes that involve lots of different types of apples. And so think about apples being involved in breakfast, lunch, dessert, snack, appetizers, and drinks. So they are unbelievably versatile that you can use all the time. All right, so the call to action is get your apple, go get one today. And I really truly appreciate you taking the time to attend this webinar today. We hope that you now see the wonderful benefits of apples and what they provide to our bodies. They truly help to keep the doctor away. So if you're looking for more recipes or ways to pick apples, because if you go right on the applesfromny.com website, you can actually, during picking season, you can see where you can pick, how far away it is. There's just so many tools you can see there. There's even how-to videos on the website, and you'll see me. I'm there too. I did a bunch of videos for them. We've even developed a toolkit for dietitians nationwide, which is really cool too, which is neat. So there's lots of recipes and cool how-tos right there on the website. So thank you to the New York State Apples Association for sponsoring this webinar today. I love working for them. You couldn't think of anything better for a dietitian to represent, but New York State Apples. I've grown up here in Central New York. I'm so lucky that throughout the entire harvest seasons, my girls and I go out all the time to pick apples. We literally go multiple times a week. There's one that's just 15 minutes away, and we sneak in and we grab the apples. They're just absolutely delicious. It's fun to eat them right on the farm. So just make sure to check that out. And we want to also thank the New York State Apples Association. It's a nonprofit that works on behalf of our 600 family-owned orchards that grow over 30 million bushels of apples per year. Isn't that crazy? So all of this is going to truly support the New York State apple growers. So when you're at the store, make sure you look for that New York sticker, and that is going to prove that you have the New York State apples. Okay. So thank you so much again for your time today. We love being able to share all of the information about New York State apples. Isn't it great? Isn't it so fun? I mean, there's so much nutrition there. That is just amazing. So did you learn something from today's presentation? Tell me a couple of things that you learned. Anything?
Good for fiber.
Right? Would you think about it? Maybe not correlate it that much, right?
No.
It is good for fiber. Thank you for sharing. Captain, what did you learn?
I learned about a snapdragon, so I'm going to have to go look for them.
They tend to be, I mean, that's like the new cool thing, and everyone's loving them. So, and it has a neat name.
Thank you very much. Great
You're
job.
welcome. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And thank you
Bye.
for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.